It was February 14th in Bear Country, and brother and sister were going to visit Ellis and Zoe's farm in the human world below. It was once called the world of the dead, but after Zoe and Ellis with their friends defeated Farmer Ben, the world was back to normal, with some zombies captured and taken to a security facility in certain states. Since it was Valentine's Day for the human world below as well, brother and sister have been invited by Ellis and Zoe to spend Valentine's Day with them. Sister was waiting by the door with her best friend Lizzie Bruin and cousin Fred. They were waiting for brother to hurry up. Sister Lizzie Fred had their Valentine's Day gifts for their friends, but they were also going to see the horses at the farm where Ellis and Zoe we live. "What's taking brother so long?" Sister asked. "Yeah, he shouldn't have been down here by now. Does it take this long to get his Valentine's Day cards and gifts?" Fred wondered. "Maybe he fell in the toilet. As we say, don't fall in." Lizzie stated the bathroom joke. Making herself and sister laugh, they knew it wasn't a gross-out humor joke, but it was still a bathroom joke. "I hope he didn't fall in the toilet. We got that from Ellie," Sister said, remembering the time Ellie taught her and brother a few bathroom jokes. Brother eventually came downstairs with his Valentine's Day gifts and cards. He was ready to go. "There you are. We've been waiting for you," Fred said. "Sorry about that. I forgot where the bag with all my gifts and cards was for everyone," brother replied. "Good thing our gifts and cards were delivered to our friends at school and all around Bear Country," Sister said. "It saves us time so we can get to the farm," Fred added. Then Mama showed up with a gift bag and handed it to brother. "Why is this gift bag so heavy, Mama?" brother asked. "It's a gift for Ellis and Zoe for Valentine's Day. It's a bottle of wine I got," Mama replied. "Wine? Yuck!" Lizzie and sister both stuck out their tongues. The taste of wine sounded disgusting. "Yes, but you cubs aren't old enough to drink wine yet," Mama reminded them. "We know, Mama. Me and Lizzie were just being silly," Sister replied. "You'll both behave yourself at the farm. I don't want to have to pick you all four up if you're all misbehaving," Mama Bear said, as the cubs got on their winter coats, boots, hats, scarves, and mittens on. "We'll behave, Mama. See you later," brother said, as he, sister, Lizzie, and Fred headed out of the door. Once they were outside, they walked down the path of Bear Country to a cave. Once they entered the cave, it took them to the human world, and it happened to be just across the road ahead towards Ellis and Zoe's farm. It wasn't too far to walk. When the cubs approached the driveway of the farm, they began to walk up towards the farm doors and enter the barn. Rochelle and with Francis and Coach were walking out of the stable. As they did the barn chores for the day, they saw brother, sister, Lizzie, and Fred walking up towards them and stopped to greet them. "Hey Rochelle, what are you, Francis, and Coach doing?" brother asked. "We did our barn chores for the day, so we're heading home to spend Valentine's Day with friends," Francis said. "We brought your Valentine's Day gifts and cards," Sister said, as she gave Coach, Francis, and Rochelle their cards. "Where's Louis and Nick?" "Nick was here this morning with Louis, but then they left when we were arriving," Coach said. "Is there any way they can get their gifts as well as their cards?" Lizzie asked. "I'll be spending the night with Nick at the bar with Louis, so I could take your gifts and cards to them," Coach offered. "Thanks, Coach," brother said, as he handed Coach a gift for Nick and Louis, while Lizzie handed him their cards. A $25 gift card for a beer store and a $25 gift card to the movies, Coach said, looking at the gift cards that brother gave to him. "The beer store card is for Nick so he can buy a pack of beer, and the movie gift card is for Louis so he can use it when he goes to the movies," Fred stated. "That's very nice of you guys. I'll make sure they get these cards," Coach said. Then Lizzie handed Coach a football with brother's signature on it. "It's a football with brother's signature on it. We thought of you, since you were a coach at a high school before the zombies broke out," Lizzie stated. "Thank you so much. This will go inside my trophy case at my house," Coach replied, as he wished the Cubs happy Valentine's Day before driving off on his Ford truck. Here's something for you, Francis. A 25 gift card for the beer store, too, Sister said as she handed him a gift card. I was getting jealous for a second over Nick getting one, but now I can buy one for myself, a pack of beer. Thanks, Sister. I'll head to the beer store on my way back. Here's something for you, Rochelle. It's a $100 gift card for the mall in Georgia, Brother said, handing Rochelle her gift card. Thank you so much, Brother. I'll head to the mall tomorrow, since it'll be my day off from work. This is awesome, Rochelle replied, as she hugged the Cubs. Your gifts from all of us are in the barn. Ellis, Ellie, and Zoe's are inside the house at the back of the barn, Rochelle said, before heading towards her SUV with Francis. They wished Brother, Sister, Lizzie, and Fred a happy Valentine's Day before driving off of the barn property. Let's head inside the barn. I wonder what gifts they left us, Sister said, as she, Brother, Lizzie, and Fred headed inside the barn. The horses were in their stalls, eating and mostly resting. When they got to the tack room, they saw their Valentine's Day cards gifts that were Rochelle, Francis, Louis, Nick, and Coach had left for them. Most of the gifts were cards, chocolates, and the Cubs even each got a stuffed bear. They were nice gifts from their friends. This is a very nice of Rochelle, Coach, Ellis, Nick, and Louis and Francis to get us these, Brother said. These stuffed bears are cuter, Lizzie added. Then Ellie showed up at the tack room from the side door. Hey, you Cubs, glad you're all here, Ellie said, giving the Cubs a box of chocolates. Thanks, Ellie. Happy Valentine's Day, Sister said. She gave Ellie a card as well as a stuffed fox with hearts on it. Thanks, Sister. This fox is super cute, Ellie replied. Where's Ellis and Zoe? Lizzie asked. Rochelle told us that they were back in the house, is that correct? Fred asked. Ellis is in the house. I'm not sure where Zoe is, Ellie replied. I think she went on a trail ride with one of the horses we have. Let's head to the house to see Ellis. After Ellie suggested the idea, she and Brother, Sister, Fred, and Lizzie headed out of the barn and towards the house. On their way out to the driveway to the house, Zoe was on her horse, heading back towards the barn. She looked up to see Ellie with her friends. Hey Zoe, we were wondering where you were, Brother called out. I was on a trail with this horse. As soon as I get off and put her back in the stall, I'll come and join you in the house, Zoe replied. See you later, Lizzie said, as Zoe walked her horse towards the barn, where she got off before heading inside the barn doors. When the Cubs and Ellie approached the front door, Sister rang the doorbell. After a few seconds of ringing the doorbell, Ellis opened the door from the other side. As soon as he saw Ellie with Brother, Sister, Lizzie, and Fred, Howdy, my friends. Happy Valentine's Day to you all, Ellis said. Come on inside the house, Ellis added as he let the Cubs and Ellie inside the house. When the Cubs walked inside the house, they could see that it was all decorated for Valentine's Day. The stable was even set up with snacks and even drinks on the table. Plates and cups were also there. This is awesome. You decorated this house? Brother asked in amazement. Zoe did most of the work with Ellie. I was working on some cars before you showed up, Ellis replied. The Cubs and Ellie began laughing when they saw how dirty Ellis was from working in the garage. Was that today? Sister asked. It was a few weeks ago when me and Zoe decorated the house, Ellie answered. I'm gonna head for the showers to get cleaned up from the grease and oil from working on the cars. You're in charge of the Cubs, Ellie. Zoe will be in the house as soon as she is back from the barn, Ellis said, as he headed upstairs to take a shower. What do you guys have planned to do for Valentine's Day? Fred asked. We're planning on ordering takeout here. We were going to go out to eat, but they decided to order takeout since you guys were coming here, Ellie replied. Look at all these cookies. Did Ellis make them? Lizzie asked as she took one of the cookies to eat. Yeah, Zoe made the cupcakes and I even made the brownies, Ellie said. You guys did a great job, Sister replied as she took 2 cupcakes. What food are we ordering? Pizza? Brother asked. No, it's not pizza we're having. Ellis says that it's a surprise dinner, Ellie answered. Whatever dinner will be, I'm sure it will be good to eat, Fred said. As the Cubs and Ellie got their snacks and drinks, Zoe walked inside the house. She took off her winter boots and coat as she shivered a bit. Man, it's cold outside, but it's sure good to be inside the house, Zoe said, then walked inside the house. Upon walking in, she saw brother, sister, Fred, and Lizzie with Ellie. Hey, Zoe, glad you're here, brother said. Glad you're all here. I was wondering when you were gonna all show up. I was on a trail ride, Zoe replied. I see that you're snacking on the snacks that me, Ellie, and Ellis made. Yep, they're great, Zoe, and the decorations are awesome, sister complimented Ellie. Thanks, I sure did a lot of work on decorating with Ellie's help, Zoe said. Where's Ellis? He went upstairs to shower. He was dirty from working in the garage on some cars, Lizzie replied. Well then, I might as well go and shower myself. I am dirty from working in the barn, Zoe said, as she began to head upstairs. I'll take the Cubs to do something in the barn while you and Ellis shower, Ellie said to Zoe, as she walked a few steps up the stairs. All right, Ellie, I might as well go and join Ellis in the shower, if you get what I mean, Zoe smirked as she headed upstairs. When Zoe headed upstairs, she headed for her and Ellis's bedroom, where Ellie was getting clothes on from the barn in the bedroom to change from the shower. Zoe, walked in seeing Ellis near his dresser. There you are, Zoe. I was wondering when you'll be up here. How are the Cubs and Ellie doing? Ellis asked. They're good. They're snacking on the snacks we made, Zoe said. Say, Ellis, are you going to have a shower? Zoe asked with a seductive look on her face with a smirk. Why, yes I am, Zoe. Why? Ellis asked. Do you mind if we shower together and try not to make too much noise? Zoe said seductively. Ellis knew that this was an offer he couldn't refuse, especially on Valentine's Day. While Ellis and Zoe were having a steamy, fun time alone in the shower together, Ellie took the Cubs to the barn to do something. Ellie grabbed a horse and put it in cross ties before taking the blanket off of it. What are we going to do until Ellis and Zoe finish showering? Fred asked. We're going to go on a winter trail ride. The one Zoe took earlier today, Ellie said, as she saddled up the horse. Ellis and Zoe have brushed the horses before Zoe left on a trail ride, so we'll just have to pick their hooves and saddle them up, Ellie added. Are you allowed to go on a trail ride by yourself? Lizzie asked. Yeah, as long as they know where I will be before we leave. I'll have to text them so they know, Ellie replied, as she texted Ellis and Zoe on her phone, letting them know that Ellie was going to take the Cubs on a trail ride. You've done it before? Sister asked, as Ellie saddled up the horse and took out from its stall. Yes, I have, and you guys can saddle up any schooling horse with a red heart on the stall door. Don't choose any horse with a blue star with a blue heart on the stall door, Ellie reminded them. The red hearts mean that the horses are lesson horses, and the blue ones mean that only you, Ellis, and Zoe can ride, Brother said, recognizing what Ellie means by the red and blue hearts. Yeah, Zoe wanted to do that as they plan to start their own riding stable business soon. I sure hope they can get the business up and going soon. It'll be very awesome, Ellie replied. Sister, Lizzie, brother, and Fred headed to any stall door with the red heart on the stall door. Once they did that, they saddled up their horses and headed for the side door of the barn. How do we get on our horses? Lizzie asked. I'll get you guys up on your horses before I bridle my horse, Ellie replied. She made sure that she saddled up and checked that the girth and etc. were on correctly and tightened up the girth on the horses one by one. Ellie placed a mountain block for the Cubs to get on. They moved their horses forward till Ellie was the last one to get on. I'm on this pony named Wilson, said brother. I'm on this mare Jasmine. She's the appendix mare, sister replied. I'm on this chestnut mare Duchess, Fred added. And I'm on this thoroughbred horse named Murray, Lizzie also added. Then Ellie jumped on her her Mahari horse named Cream, and walked up to the front of the line. You all just follow me throughout the trail, and you won't get too close to each other's asses, Ellie reminded the cubs as they walked their horses through the parking lot. Ellie checked her phone, to which Zoe and Ellis were both aware that Ellie was taking the cubs somewhere. Who was that horse that Zoe was on earlier? Sister asked. That was Moana. She's a Dutch warmblood. She's a schooling horse, so she rides her as well as the other horses, Ellie answered. The trail ride was going very well. They went through the forest path, all blanketed in snow. They even went up and down the hills, but they were so slow on them due to the amount of snow on the hills. Ellie admired some of the greatest views on the trail. The cubs did the same. Have you been on one of these trails with Zoe and Ellis? Brother asked. I sure have. We did a camping trip a few times in the summer. We even invited some of our friends to come and join us, Ellie answered. When it is summer again, we can all go camping together. Sounds like a great idea, Ellie. I like it, Fred replied, as Ellie took the cubs more on the trail. Ellis and Zoe were both out of the shower and into some nice clothes for Valentine's Day. They went downstairs into the living room to wait for Ellie and the cubs. I like that red sweater, Zoe. It's nice for Valentine's Day, Ellis said to his girlfriend. I'm glad you like the sweater, Ellis. I sure like that white shirt with a huge heart on it, Zoe said as she kissed his cheek. I hope you just don't stain that shirt. It won't matter if I do or not. We're not going out in public, Ellis replied, as he headed through the kitchen to pick up his cell phone from the kitchen counter. He decided to order food while they waited. He called a very popular takeout place called Burger Tank and placed the order for himself, Zoe, Ellie, along with brother, sister, Fred, and Lizzie. A few minutes later, Ellis was off the phone from the restaurant that he called for dinner. He could then see Zoe getting out some Valentine's Day gifts for her friends. Dinner will be delivered here in 40 to 45 minutes, Ellis said. Damn, that sounds like almost a full hour, but I am sure Ellie with the cubs will be here soon, Zoe replied. Then she could see Ellie with the cubs on their horses, heading back to the barn from being out on the trail ride. Here comes the cubs and Ellie, Zoe said. Now normally Mama Bear would give them a bath after the trail ride, but since they're with us, they could have a bath later, Ellis stated as he munched on some cookies. We're okay with the smell of horses from the barn, and I don't mind them one bit, Zoe replied. I'll go get your gift from upstairs. You stay down here till then, Zoe asked. Ellis nodded without questioning his girlfriend. As Ellis began setting up the dining room table, his cell phone began to ring. He picked it up. Howdy, Ellis said as he picked up the phone. Hello, Ellis. Is your refrigerator running? A voice called from the other line picked up. Yeah, why is that? Ellis asked, sounding like something suspicious was on the other line. Because you better catch it, ha ha ha, a voice replied. It was Too Tall prank calling Ellis. Since Ellis played along like an idiot, he did hear that it was only Too Tall pranking him. Yeah, nice try. This prank call did not fool me. I bet this is Too Tall on the phone, or is it not? Ellis asked, sounding annoyed. Yeah. Why, aren't you that stupid, Ellis? Too Tall asked, only for Ellis to hang up on him. Zoe soon came downstairs with Ellis's gift, to which it was wrapped in a Valentine's Day bag. Ellis, who was it on the phone? Zoe asked. It was a prank call from Too Tall. He said that my refrigerator was running, and I played along like an idiot before calling him out on it, Ellis replied. Man, he doesn't know when he'll leave us alone. I guess ever since the incidents with Witter Jones and Farmer Ben, I guess he just didn't know when to quit. But I know one thing, he and his gang never mess with us, as we're the bestest zombie fighters in the universe, Zoe said, just as Ellie walked in the house with brother, sister, Fred, and Lizzie. Hey, Zoe, the horses are in their stalls, blankets are on all of them, and the saddles are all put away with the bridles, Ellie said. Awesome, did you all have fun? Zoe asked. We sure did, and Ellie says that we could go all camping in the summertime. Would that be okay? Brother asked with a question. I don't see why we can't. We'll have to think about it and go from there, Ellis replied. I ordered from Burger Tank, and the food will be here about 40 to 45 minutes. That sounds like it'll be a whole hour, Lizzie complained a bit. It may seem like it is, but it isn't, as time will go by quickly, Ellie said. Hey, Ellis and Zoe, since I gave the Cubs my gifts, can I give your gifts from me, as well as we do all the gift exchange? Sounds like an idea. Come to the kitchen for Valentine's Day presents, Zoe said, as she, along with Ellie and Ellis, led the Cubs to the living room. Zoe gave sister, brother, Fred, and Lizzie their gifts to them before going into the living room from the kitchen. Ellis got out his gifts for them as well as Ellie. Lee got with Ellie's help. Sister got a stuffed bear along with Lizzie and Ellie from Zoe. They also got a card and some chocolates. Thanks, Zoe. This bear is cute with my name on it, Sister said as she hugged Zoe. I got the store to put your name on as well as Ellie's and Lizzie's, Zoe replied as she hugged her sister back. Fred and brother got cards, chocolates, and they even got a Valentine's Day plane to build, since they both like to build planes. This is cool! I want to build mine, brother said, thanking Zoe along with Fred. After you open mine as well as giving us your gifts, I could lend you a hand at building them, Ellis suggested. He then gave the Cubs his gifts, as well as some of Ellie's. Ellie got the cards for the Cubs, as well as some more chocolates. She also got them a few nice stuffed animals that were Valentine's Day edition. Wow, brother, sister, Fred, and Lizzie, these stuffed animals are adorable. I really like them, Ellie said. I'm glad you like them, Ellie. They're so adorable, Sister replied. They'll be perfect for my bedroom when I go to sleep tonight, Ellie said. Then Ellis handed Ellie his gift to her. When Ellie opened up her gift from Ellis, she got a Valentine's Day sweater along with some candy. Wow, this is awesome, Ellis. This sweater is so fuzzy. Ellie put on the sweater over top of her shirt that she was wearing just to try it on. It may be a bit itchy, but you'll get used to it, Ellis said. The Cubs got the same gifts that Ellis did, and they all tried on the sweaters. Sure, it was a bit itchy, but they loved the gifts. Here's my special gifts, Zoe said as she passed out the gifts. Everyone opened up their gifts along with the candy. They got a teddy bear of their own. A teddy bear, this is cute, Lizzie said as she hugged the teddy bear. Squeeze the bear's tummy. They have a special message inside, Zoe replied. As the Cubs, Ellie, and Ellis squeezed the teddy bears, they all had Zoe's voice in a box recording that they all said, I love you, in them. But their names were different of each bear. I recorded my voice when I went to the bear shop to get these. They're so cute, just like you, Ellis smiled as he kissed Zoe. Ellis, do you have something for Zoe besides Valentine's Day gifts? Ellie asked, reminding Ellis of something. Ellis headed for the kitchen to grab something, and Zoe wondered what he got for her. He returned to the living room within a few minutes later. Zoe, I know we've been together for a few years, maybe 2 at most, but I want to ask you something. Zoe, my darling, will you marry me? Ellis asked as he got down on one knee. The Cubs and Ellie were so excited. Ellis had finally popped the question to Zoe. Oh my, Ellis, I don't know what to say. Well, this is a perfect day to ask me this, so my answer is yes, Zoe said in excitement. As she said that, Ellis slipped the engagement ring on her finger. Ellis and Zoe were finally going to tie the knot. I always knew this was going to happen sometime, Fred said. Yeah, and by the way they're madly in love with each other, I am sure they're going to last a lifetime, Ellie replied. Will you two ever have kids? Sister asked. Someday we will, maybe a little girl like you, Zoe answered. I'll invite you all to my wedding, minus Too Tall and his gang, as they're assholes. Well, I'll just make sure Too Tall and his gang do not play tricks at the wedding, Ellis added. Just then the doorbell rang. I bet that's our dinner. All of you head to the kitchen table while Zoe and I take the dinner here. As the Cubs and Ellie went to the dining table in the dining room, it was all decorated and set up for the day. All the Cubs sat down on the chairs, hungry enough that they could just eat about anything. As soon as the food was paid, Zoe and Ellis brought 3 bags of Burger Tank egg bags to the table, and it was what they were all having for dinner. Burger Tank? You mean you got us for that? Brother asked in excitement. That's right. They do takeout, dining in, and food delivery. We decided to do this today, since you were all coming over, Ellis answered. I got a cheeseburger with fries for sister, chicken fingers for Fred, hamburger for you, and Ellie and Lizzie, I got you both a burger burrito. So they have burritos at Burger Tank? Lizzie asked. They do, and me and Zoe got a double cheeseburgers and fries and a large Caesar salad, with extra cheese on Zoe's burger. She's been craving cheese for a while now. She's not pregnant, but she just has one of these moods whenever she craves for something, Ellis replied, as he got out his food for everyone, as Zoe got the soda and vodka cooler for herself and Ellis. They also received that gift from Mama Bear that sister had handed them their gift. Here's soda for the kids and Ellie, and vodka coolers for me and Ellis, Zoe said, as they all sat down to enjoy their dinner. The burgers and fries amongst the other stuff was really yummy. The special dessert was going to be served later on, as Zoe spent the day before making it. Next time, we should eat inside the restaurant, Brother said. We can all arrange that for the next time you come up here, Ellis replied, as he had a sip of his vodka cooler. Dinner went very well with everyone munching down on their food. Sister really enjoyed her cheeseburger. As soon as dinner was all cleaned up, Zoe brought over a cake in the shape of a heart from the fridge. What's that? The Cubs asked in amazement. It's a chocolate heart-shaped cake. I have been working on this most of the day yesterday. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, Zoe said, as she cut into the cake into slices and handed a plate of cake to each of one of her friends. After everyone had cake, the Cubs took some leftovers for Mama and Papa and some for the ride home as they headed home when the sun was setting. Well, Ellis drove the Cubs back to their houses in Bear Country World, and all the Cubs showed their gift to what they got from their parents, and they loved them a lot. As soon as Ellis headed back home to his farm in the human world, he and Zoe decided to have some more fun time together as Ellie fell asleep. Brother and sister were in their rooms on their bunk bed as they were tired but had so much fun on Valentine's Day. This Valentine's Day was the best, brother, sister said while laying in bed. It sure was, sis. Do you think Ellis and Zoe will invite us for Easter? Brother said with a question. I'm sure they'll invite us, I hope. But we'll still celebrate it no matter what, sisters replied. The Cubs eventually fell asleep within a few minutes, knowing that this year's Valentine's Day was the best one they've had.